being really slow. Okay,
Hey,
there it
we go.
Hello.
Hola.
Welcome, everybody, to the live show. Obviously, we are talking about The Sleeping Prince by Melinda Salisbury, and I have Chloe with me, and we are going to talk about all of our thoughts. So,
hope you got a lot of stuff for this one.
I do. I got all of my tabbies here, and then each one of these little sections are like note cards that I have filled up of information. So
that's what I have. It's not a lot.
So this is the first time that I've like
taken.
Ooh, I hate that word. It's not even a word.
I said taken.
No. I said tooken.
Oh, you said tooken? Okay.
I said tooken, and I don't know why it just comes out sometimes. Like it's the weirdest word. Like it doesn't even exist, and you just say it because it makes sense. Anyway, so it's the first time I've taken notes like this, and I've done it on 2 books since this one, and I really like this system. So I'm excited to have like a note-taking system that works. But so why not? I'll give you a synopsis of the first book in this series because this is a series. Well, after reading it, I really think it's like I don't know.
Can you send me the link so while you're talking I'll deal with
I can do that. So the first book in this series is called The Sin Eater's Daughter. Okay, let me copy this. I can't talk and copy things at the same time. Hold on 1 second. I don't even have Twitter pulled up. Okay, so The Sin Eater's Daughter is about a girl named Twillia who is engaged to marry the prince of her country, but she is locked in the dungeon because she is also the executioner because her touch is poisonous. And that's basically all you need to know for the first book in this series. And then we don't want to give spoilers away because for this book, because, you know, we don't want to give a synopsis of this book because it is spoilers. So, all right. There is that. All right, let me I gotta tweet out the link too. I wasn't prepared. I just sent it to you.
Okay.
Sorry. I didn't know if I said that.
Yeah, I got it.
I wonder how other people who do live shows do this because I feel like they tweet it out, but then they don't say anything, and I'm not sure how they do that. Because I cannot type on Twitter and talk at the same time. It's really difficult. Okay, all right, so I've tweeted the link.
On yours or on the Twitter?
Just on mine.
Okay.
Just on.
All right, I'll do both.
Awesome.
Typing in the wrong book name.
Fail. Okay, so while Chloe is tweeting out the links for the Once Upon a Read Along Twitter page, which you guys can go and check out, I believe there should be a link in the description. If not, I'll add it later, or you can just search Once Upon a Read Along.
At Once Read Along.
At Once Read Along on Twitter and find it that way. So Chloe is tweeting out the link, and I will tell you my thoughts. So I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. The beginning, it took me a while to really get into the story. I think it's a combination, though, that it's been over a year and a half since I read the first one because I got it as an advanced reader's copy, and because I just wasn't sold on the character change. Like the first book is told from Twillia's perspective, and this book is told from a different person's perspective who is connected to Twillia in one way, but you'll learn about her later and how she's connected to Twillia. And I didn't like that. I really wanted Twillia to be the main character and the voice that we get for this book. So in the beginning, it took me a while to get into it because of those reasons. But by like 100 pages in, I was sold. I really, really like this book. I even texted Chloe because she has a very different feeling about this book than I do. And I was like, how could you not love this? Because it's amazing.
I had to look up my rating real quickly before I tweeted it out.
I think you gave it like a 2.5. I thought you said to me, right?
That was for the first book. Wait, what did you give the star rating? I missed it.
A 4. 4 out of 5.
Let me quickly tweet this. Okay, so let me tweet and talk. So yeah, I gave this. Oh God, this is gonna be hard. I gave this a 1.25 out of 5 stars because I liked, like, the 0.25 came from the little pieces that I liked because I didn't think it was like a complete one. It also wasn't a 2. I had to read the first book first because I'd never read it before, and I gave that a 2.5. So I kind of just really wanted to get this over with. Um, I hated that it was told in a different point of view. I hated that. Um, it just, I was very confused throughout it. It reminded me a lot of when we read The Cruel Beauty last year for this. There was just a lot of confusion, didn't know what was going on. Um, I think this book is told a few years later, but it's never really said whether it is or not. I just think it is. Overall, I just was not happy with this. 1.25 stars. I ended up liking The Sin Eater's Daughter a little bit better than this one, but just a little bit.
So, why didn't you like The Senator's Daughter? Because that was something that we didn't talk about either. But we usually don't talk about these books because we do the live show on them. So, what didn't you like about The Senator's Daughter?
Hold on. Let me just finish this tweet real quick.
Okay.
It's really hard to tweet and talk.
Yeah, it is. It's impossible. I don't know how some people do it.
Okay. So I think it was the same thing with this book as it was with The Sin Eater's Daughter. It was just really, really confusing. And it's like one minute this would be happening, and the next this is happening, and it's completely different and everything. I'm so confused all the time. And I guess, like, I think another part, and this is more of my fault, I remember when we were going to do this in May, and so in April, I got The Sin Eater's Daughter to read, and it just sat there for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I kept renewing it until I had to just eventually just returned it. Then we thought it was going to be in June, so I was like, all right, well, let's do this. And again, the same thing. I checked it out, and it just sat and sat and sat. And then I finally was like, listen, I'm not ready for June. Can we just push it to July? And this month, I actually, I did read it. And I listened to the audiobook for both of them because it helped me get through it faster. But I was just like, I don't want to read this at all.
So you think it might be that you weren't in the mood for a fantasy?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I just really didn't want to read it. Yeah. And I still think there was a lot of confusion in the book throughout it. So
yeah, there were definitely moments where I was confused as well, especially with the religious system and the history of the world is a tad bit confusing. Mm-hmm. And then there are several moments where it's just huge info dump. So I definitely see that. I don't know what connects me so much to Melinda Salisbury's writing. I really, really enjoy the flow and just how she puts words on a page and how she explains surroundings and people. So that really, really attracts me to this. Plus the bits and pieces that I do get and understand about the religious system and the world, I love. I was obsessed with the idea of sin eating and the religious system in The Sin Eater's Daughter. It was just so good. I remember is what just made me fall in love with that series is the thought out religious system. But I am such a sucker for a good thought out religious system because I feel like a lot of fantasies kind of cop out on religious systems. They should be a bigger part of fantasy novels, but it's just easy to take a religion that's very similar to Christianity or Islam or, one of our religions and just name it something else and give the deities different names and then just move on. That's what a lot of young adult fantasy authors do now. But when you have a really thought out, different and unique religious system, I love that.
I feel like it also could have been the part of it's summertime. During the summer, I just want to read contemporaries all the time. I feel like that could have been a problem too. But I'm trying to think. Pretty sure I read more than just those two things. I read the new Harry Potter book. That's obviously not a contemporary. I think everything else I read was contemporary. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because you read all the Jennifer E. Smith books, right?
Yeah, I read one. Yeah. I don't know. It's just I guess I just wasn't in the mood for a fantasy. fantasy to me is more of like a November, December type of book.
Yeah.
Like,
is our next read fantasy too?
yeah, but I'm okay with that.
Oh, next month is the Heart of Darkness or the Beauty of Darkness. How could I keep forgetting that we're reading the Beauty of Darkness next month? I don't know what's wrong.
You're so excited for it too, and you're forgetting.
I know. I'm just excited to read it myself, and I keep saying next month too. We're reading it this month. Technically,
yeah,
it's this month. Yeah, I don't know why I keep forgetting about it. Do you have your copy of it yet? It's gigantic.
I've got it on hold at the library.
Yeah, it's huge. You should read it like as soon as you get it because it's like almost 700 pages.
Oh, joy. Awesome.
Yeah, it's huge. So, all right. Anyway, back to the sleeping plan. I'm trying to flip through some of my things here.
I did, like, going back on my confusion, I did understand this book at first, but then it started to become confusing. Like, at first it was, like, nice, straightforward, easy, and then I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. There's especially a moment at the end, I think, that I tabbed.
Well, the end was so confusing.
Yes, I completely agree. There was a moment at the end where the Sin Eater, Twilia's mom, comes back and she's like explaining things about the history of the world, and it's just info dump, like huge info dump. I really feel like for me, that brought it down to a 4-star.
Have a third book in the series?
She wrote a short story, which I haven't read, and then yes, I think there's going to be a third book.
I'm going to look and see if there's any information on the third book. I don't know, like, I'm probably not going to read the third book, but it's like, now I'm wondering, it's like, okay, well, the first book was in Tula's point of view, the second one was in Aaron's point of view. Whose point of view is it going to be in the third one?
Yeah, me too. I would definitely wonder about that as well. So I'm trying to look at my notes here. I feel like when I take this, since this is the first time that I took notes in this format, I would just have like an index card and I would take notes as I read the book.
Oh, there is a third one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it already has a cover and a title.
Are you sure it's not like the prequel?
No, it says Sin Eater's Daughter number 3.
What's the title?
The Scarecrow Queen.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember now.
It has a pretty. Yeah. The cover's pretty.
So what's
cover?
Yeah, I remember seeing that now. Okay, does it say whose perspective it's in? Does it have a description?
Nope, nothing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
But I do see the prequel. I didn't know about the prequel. Oh, that only came out like a week ago.
Yeah, but you have you can download it for free online through Waterstone's website.
This also doesn't have a release date. It just says it comes out in 2017.
Hopefully it's around the same time as now, because I think I'm going to pick it up. I mean, when I first read The Sin Eater's Daughter last year, like when I brought this to Chloe's attention, I said, I really want to read this for the Once Upon a Read Along. I was in love with The Sin Eater's Daughter. And I really think that it's, like, I read this in February of 2015, and this was one of the first fantasies that I really, really fell in love with. And I really think it's, like, has a gilded, like, cover for me. Like, I feel like it's a lot better than I think it is. No. I think it's a lot better than it actually is. I just, you know, your perspective of books changes over time.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, and I just feel like it's, in my head, it's just gotten better and better, but it's really not that great of a book. So this is definitely not a perfect fantasy. It's not the best fantasy ever, but it's kind of nostalgic, I guess, because this is one of the first fantasies that I picked up for BookTube and really made me fall in love with the YA fantasy genre, which is why it seems that it's a lot better in my head than it actually is. So
with this book, first of all, I wish we'd had more information on the time period and, like, how much time had passed between the first and second book. Or
why is that?
Because I felt like, for me, I'm pretty sure this book was set a few years after the events of the first book, simply because of Twilla's role in this book. But it's never really told.
Okay.
How much time had passed. So that's why I'm just letting her. I was like, when did all of this happen? And
yeah.
like, yeah. Also, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I can see, I guess for me, that didn't really matter at all because it could have been 6 months after the senator's daughter, or it could have been 6 years, but I just don't think it would have mattered as much. But if you look, this just occurred to me, but if you look at the timeline, so now we're getting into like real spoiler parts if we haven't said that yet. If you look at the timeline, so Aaron's dad died.
Okay.
And she says that shortly after Aaron's dad died, that they moved to the town. What's it called? I wrote it down. They moved to the town called Elmwack. That is a really hard name to say. Almwyk. Anyway, so they moved to that town, and then she said there was like, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 moons later is when they find out that they hadn't been in this town for very long.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her saying. So Leif had went to work at the castle shortly after they moved to this town. And so if they've only been to this town for like 6 months or so,
mm-hmm.
Then this had to have taken place right after the senator's daughter. It had to have. Because they weren't, I remember her saying that they weren't in the town for very long because they moved there because her dad died.
But then the events at the end of this book lead me to question how much time has passed. Because remember, the character named, what's her name? I wrote it down. Is named Dimia comes in, and the entire time I'm reading about her, I'm assuming that it's Twila, and then we find out that it was Twila, and it's like, well, when did she become like a villager? And then we find out the whole spiel about Leif and how he's been working for the Sleeping Prince. And it's like, well, when did this happen?
Well, he could have been working for the Sleeping Prince while he was at the castle. I mean, Melinda Salisbury probably didn't include all of that information, maybe because she wanted it to kind of be interpreted by the reader. I don't know, but I can see why, and since I read a lot of fantasy, I can kind of appreciate that not everything is like the reader knows, because there are a lot of fantasies that give you so much information, but you don't need to know all of it. So since I read fantasy, pretty much every book I read, I can appreciate when an author doesn't find it necessary to give us all of the information. But for someone like you who doesn't read as much fantasy, I can see why having more information might help. But yeah, so I definitely see where you're coming from for sure.
I'm looking through the copy of the book. I opened it, and I like the acknowledgments. It says, for James Field, for amongst other things, getting opening night tickets to The Cursed Child.
I saw that.
That's great.
Yeah, I follow her on Facebook. I'm her friend on Facebook and on Twitter, and she's a really great person. We don't talk, like, we're not besties or anything like that, but I follow her on social media, and she's super sweet and obsessed with Harry Potter, as all of us are right now. There was something that I definitely didn't like either, and that was like the going back and forth in time, but just slightly. And this annoys me. Two times this happened. The first time was in the beginning when we meet Aaron, and then it switches to the city hall meeting where they're having a meeting about the army or whatever that's coming, and then it switches to before the city hall meeting. And I thought that this was 2 different people, because there's someone in the city hall, we're seeing a point of view from someone who's sitting at the city hall meeting, and then we're going to Aaron, who's talking to the mayor about going to the city hall meeting later.
I forgot about that guy.
Oh yeah, the mayor was a POS. Huh?
Slime ball.
Yeah, I hated him. Unwin was his name.
Yeah, I remember
Champ Unwin. Ooh. It's so much easier for me to remember names when I have them written down. But yeah, no, I hated him too. But the switching back and forth in time was really confusing for me. Like, it literally felt like those 2 chapters got flipped by accident. Mm-hmm. Like, he should have been talking to the mayor about going to the meeting, and then she actually went to the meeting. But it didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
And then it happened again when she ran away from the town and burnt the mayor's house down.
I forgot about that too. Forgetting about it. It's like I've forgotten so much about this book, especially since I read so many books in July.
Yeah, that's why I try to read the books as close to the live show as possible.
The problem is, it's like I don't know if I'm. It's like I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to read it then. So like, as
Yeah.
soon as I get it, I have to read it because the upcoming one, especially since classes start this month.
Yeah, well, it's gigantic. I wouldn't be surprised if it takes you 2 weeks to read it. It might take me 2 weeks to read it. Like it's huge. I'll show you a copy after the live show because it's gigantic. But so yeah, those two moments where it's just like the time was flipped and it was really confusing and I didn't like that. And then excuse me, and then the end when they had like the huge info dump. Excuse me. Oh, were the two things that like kept it down for me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything that you did like?
Let's see. Okay. One person we actually haven't talked about either, Cyrus. That like
Silas?
Cyrus.
Silas?
Cyrus.
Silas?
I'm pretty sure it's Cyrus. Like I'm pretty sure it's because I listened to the audiobook, so
It's spelled with an Salas. S-I.
oh,
Yeah.
that's what
Do they pronounce it? They pronounce it Cyrus?
well, she had an accent too, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
I wrote Cyrus. Silas. Wow. My whole perspective on this book has changed now. What's just happened?
why?
Just because of this name, it's like this entire book is a lie to me now. I read this entire thing thinking it said Cyrus. What the heck?
That's funny. And usually when I don't know names, I would just go with it because I wouldn't know who you're talking about. But no,
Yep, this
wonders for me.
entire book has changed. It's even worse because I listened to the audiobook too. All right, anyway, I was happy when Silas, God, that's weird, and Aaron started showing feelings for each other. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That was the last of my notes.
Well, did you think that he had left her? Like when they planned on leaving together to go find the
Honestly, I don't remember what happened to him in the book. I don't remember.
so they planned on after Aaron's mother is taken by the army for being crazy.
I remember that. Oh, what did I just do? I opened a tab.
They plan on leaving together to go find who we later find out is Demia. And they're going to go together. And she says, okay, well, let me go back to my house. Let me get my things. Let me get my mother.
And
or no, let me get my things. And then she goes back to meet up with Silas. And it seems like he's gone. But the mayor makes her think that he's gone. He was coming back for her. We find out later. But I was like so upset because I thought that he had left her. And because she trusted him. She knew where Demia was, but he didn't. I don't remember how she found that out, but she knew where Demia was and he didn't, and he needed her to find Demia. And so she was going to use that information to get him to help her.
Whatever happened to him anyway? Like what actually happened to him?
Silas?
Yeah.
I mean, like, did he die or something?
Yeah, like what happened to him in the end? I don't remember.
Oh no.
Oh no, I don't know.
Why do I only have one page here for the end? Hold on. Why do I only have one page for the end?
I should probably check and see if. Oh, I didn't even think to check the chat.
Oh, me neither. I don't know. Why didn't I write that down? I mean, he must have lived because. Yeah, he must have lived because there's no mention of him dying, so.
Your mom is watching the live show.
Of course she is. She always does. She's too much. You know what? We might not know what happens to him. Like.
Now we'll never know.
Yeah, I know. I'm like trying to flip through the last couple pages. What? WTF? What is going on? Why can I not remember?
I don't know. I don't know. Why is Sunday always a slow day for YouTube videos?
Oh, the Sleeping Prince captures him, it sounds like. Yeah, the Sleeping Prince captures him. So the Sleeping Prince captures Silas and Aaron's mother, and so she has no choice but to kneel to him.
Uh-huh.
And then the epilogue. Do you remember what happens in the epilogue? Because oh my god.
Maybe if I skim it. God, how long is? Oh, that's not even the epilogue.
Read like the last paragraph and couple lines of the prologue or the epilogue or whatever. Because that epilogue was amazing. Like that has me so excited for the third book, just the epilogue.
The Tregalian royal family was who Twila was with, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they all die? Oh yeah. I see. Okay, I remember thinking in the first book that Merrick was the Sleeping Prince.
See, I read The Sleeping Prince or The Senator's Daughter so long ago that I don't remember my thoughts on it at all. I remember coming away from it really liking it, but I just don't remember my specific thoughts at the time.
I think that's why I originally asked you if this book was in his point of view.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it wasn't, but still.
Yeah. And then that really shocked me because I thought they were all dead too. And then now he's not.
Because he's actually sleeping.
And that's kind of convenient, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know.
I think it makes for a good shocker, you know, like, surprise, he's not dead. And I'm just like, oh. Like, it makes for a good ending. And I am a sucker for a shocking ending that you don't see coming. It's convenient. But it's a really good ending. Like, where the hell has Merrick been the last year?
Like,
he's the prince.
Even, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were.
Even with,
sorry.
No, you're fine. Even with his, like, all these twists and turns where it's like, oh my god, I didn't know that. I'm probably still not going to read the third book, though.
That's like, okay. We have a tendency to read books in a series, like, again, like, you know, we're going to read this book in this series, and then the next one next year, we're going to read that one, too. We won't do that next year.
It's like, don't.
I'll give you a pass.
Like, don't give it to me, don't.
And, oh, I was going to say something crap. What was it?
I don't know.
Oh my god, what was it? It was, like, really important. But I mean, it wasn't, like, important, but it was something that I really wanted to talk about, and now I can't remember what it is.
You have it written down.
Huh?
Have it written down.
Well, I think it was something about Merrick. Oh, I wanted to ask you because I don't remember. So there were times when Twillia, I keep wanting to call her Demia because I mean I figured that she was Twillia, but then we kept calling her Demia, and then I just got used to it. Yeah. But there were moments when Twillia basically said that Aaron's brother hurt her or did something bad to her in some way, but I don't remember what it was.
Honestly, if you don't remember, I definitely don't remember.
Okay.
Maybe it was.
Would remember.
Maybe it was by going with the Sleeping Prince.
But if that didn't happen in the maybe. But it sounds like he committed an act against her, like he did something bad to her or something. I don't know. I just realized my oven's on. Hold on.
Your what's on? What?
My oven.
Oh, your oven.
Oops. It's been on for like 30 minutes. I didn't even need it. Yeah. Oh, and I was like thinking it's really hot in here. My oven's on.
I have YouTube up, and like I'm on my settings and stuff, and I'm on the comment section. And it's like you have 3 comments that are likely spam, and I look at them, and there's just like this one person who's like commenting on other people's comments, and like, oh, hold on, What happened to the one? But one person commented on my thing that said Neville and Luna got married in Harry Potter. It's canon. This is completely off topic, like completely. Yeah. But it's canon that they didn't get married. That they ended up with two different people.
Yeah.
And two like very different things. Even though like in the movies they that he's like I'm mad for her or whatever. Yeah. And everybody wanted them to get together. But J.K. Rowling has said herself in the history that like it's not what happens. It's completely canon. And so I said that to the person that said that, and they're like, oh yeah, well somebody else was like, I'm really sad that Neville and Luna didn't get together in the end. And this person's like, well, how do you know they didn't get together in the end? Just like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah, like I mean, J.K. Rowling says so, and it's like if the information's on Pottermore too, like that's pretty trustworthy. So
yeah, it's like it's canon. That's
yep.
Okay, back on topic.
Back on topic a little bit. You know, it's never a bad thing when we talk about Harry Potter. You know, whatever.
I'm still confused on why we didn't pick Cursed Child for our August book. Like, how did this not happen?
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think. I'm pretty sure it's because we knew we were going to read this book for a year, and so we didn't look at August. Like when we plan books to read each month, we're like, okay, well, we know that we want to read The Sleeping Prince. It comes out in. Oh, wait, no. I mean, The Heart of Betrayal. We know that we want to read The Heart of Betrayal, and that's when it comes out, so that's what we'll read, I guess, was the plan.
Also,
so
before we, when we're not live anymore, but before we hang up, we need to talk about the December book.
Okay, because I've been looking, and I can't find anything. Comment in the chat section if you have a book that's coming out in December that you want us to read and review, because I don't know.
Or the end of November.
Yeah, or the end of November.
Just any book in general. It doesn't have to be new.
That's true. I mean, even if it comes out like at the last half of the year, I don't know why. I just can't find a good book that I want to read in December.
I love how you always want to do new releases, and I always just look at my shelf and I'm just like, I have so many TBR books.
Yeah. See, I'm a huge new release reader. Like, I don't like reading older books, but there have been books that you've told me to read that are older that I've really liked. Like the Looking Glass Wars is really good, and we're still reading Miss Peregrine's, right?
Yes. For September.
Yeah, I'm reading Miss Peregrine later this year. And so I'm expecting that to be really good because everyone loves it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think of what else was going on during this time. It's hard because you didn't like the book so much.
I'm all out of notes, so it's all on you now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I need to do that because I took notes on the book, but I need to take notes on talking points. I don't know. I talked about everything that I liked, and everything that you didn't like is what I didn't like either.
Should we just wrap it up then?
I don't know. It's such a short live show, but we've talked about everything. And I love this book, so I would want to talk about it more, but I just don't know what. And
a lot of read-along groups are known for their long live shows. We're known for our short ones.
Our short ones, we really are.
We used to do long ones, though.
Yeah, I feel like we're more not consistent, but like concise.
You know what we should do? I just realized for the December book. You know how we read Ruby Red for our very first one?
Yeah.
Well, we should read Emerald Green for December. You didn't like Ruby Red? I thought you liked Ruby Red.
I heard so many bad things about the rest of the series that I lost interest in reading. I did like Ruby Red, but
you know that live show is no longer on YouTube anymore. That live show isn't on YouTube anymore because it was on Danny's channel, and all of Danny's videos are gone. I don't know what happened. I think you can still look up her channel, but there's no videos on it.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I just thought she stopped making videos. I didn't know her videos weren't up there anymore.
Our very first live show is gone.
That's sad. It was in December?
No, it was in January. January of 2015, I think.
So we'll have so it'll be 3 years?
2 years. 2.
In January?
Yes.
Okay, I don't do math, sorry. Ooh, you want to talk about the cover? The cover's
I like these covers. I only have this one. Like, it's due today, and I can't turn it back to the library today, so it'll be late. But I turned in the other one, so I don't have that with me.
Yeah,
But
I took the first one off my shelf.
this was nominated for the. Does this count as a reading goal for me? Because I needed a book that has like an award or a nominated award or something. I don't know.
It counts. If it's only nominations, I don't think it won, but if it's only nominations, then yeah, it counts.
I don't know. Let me see. I made like this little like shelf thing for me over here, and it's got like a ton of stuff on it. I don't know.
So like the writing style. So I remember you talking about how it felt really similar to Cruel Beauty, which we both didn't like. But for me, I didn't like Cruel Beauty because of the fantastical elements. Like it just seemed too far out there. Like there was a city in the sky.
Oh yeah, that was
and
just weird.
the beast, and it was just weird fantasy and like just way far out there. So
Does this have any
awards?
Does this have any awards?
Huh?
Because it's in a book with an award is what the challenge is. That's off topic.
I don't think it won. I think it was just nominated, but
I'm not surprised. I'm sorry.
the golems were weird. I will have to say that. The golems were weird.
God.
And that was me. You're horrible.
I know. I was like, I'm horrible. Let me stop.
Gosh, you're such a bad person, Chloe. How could you say that?
Horrible person.
And I barely caught it too. Like I realized you said it after you said that was horrible. I was like, wait, that was me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was funny too at the same time.
Hopefully Melinda Salisbury is not watching our live show. I loved your book, Melinda. I loved it a lot. I'll be reading the third one.
It makes me feel bad.
Unlike some people in this live show who are mean.
I'm sorry that I did not like it. I don't know why I didn't like it either. Well, I guess I know why, but
yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
There are certain fantasies that are not really good for people who aren't big fans of fantasy.
Which the thing is I don't hate fantasy. We talked about this in the last live show.
Well, I know you don't hate fantasy, but it's not something that you read. If you look at a graph of the genres that you read, you don't read fantasy as much as other books.
I think it goes like contemporary, dystopian, fantasy. And then like in between, somewhere in there, all those like random things that have like multiple genres, like Lunar Chronicles.
Yeah, and those are like, I mean, those could have several classifications: science fiction and fairy tale retelling.
Okay, let me rephrase that then. It goes contemporary, fairy tale retellings, dystopian, fantasy.
Yeah,
that's it.
And I'm convinced, like there are people who read the majority of one genre over the other, who see themes more often, and who like, since I read 99% fantasy, I don't know, I just see more similarities between one fantasy and another than other people would, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so, but no, I see what you're saying. I have to give it to you. You read a lot of fantasy for me.
So is that all we have?
I guess.
Should I talk about next month?
Hold on. Let me skim through my notes really quick and make sure there's nothing else.
This is like the one job. I do it every single live show. And it's like, so do I get to talk about next month yet? Do I get to talk about next month? It's like I talk about next month.
Yeah. I was really sad when the town that Aaron was born in got burnt to the crisp, like got burnt down. Do you remember that?
Don't remember that.
Yeah, Demia and Twillia are traveling to try to get to the conclave, and they get to the town where Twillia is from, and she had just been there. Like, she went back to the town where she was from to kind of recover, and then she goes to find Demia, and she spent time with like her childhood friend in her house and stuff like that, and then she went to go find Demia, and they're back on the road to go to the conclave because Demia knows where it's at, apparently, and they pass Twillia's town where she grew up in, and it's burnt to the ground, and no one survived. And so it's alluded that her best friend died, and like...
this is depressing.
Yeah, it was sad. It was like a really sad part of the book.
You're just like clutching the book.
I like it so much, though. I don't know why. Like, it's just so good. I like the writing style and the characters, and I think she does a really good job. Good job, Melinda. All right. So, all right, next month.
Is my time to shine?
Let me go get my book.
Okay, well, I don't have a copy of the book. So, our August book of the month is going to be The Heart of Betrayal by... No, that's not right. It's going to be... I already failed! All right. Our August book of the month is going to be The Beauty of Darkness by...
What did you say? How did you fail?
I said The Heart of Betrayal.
Fail. No, I've done that, though, too, so...
Our August book of the month is going to be The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. Observe.
This one. Oh my God, isn't it beautiful? Here, look at that. It's huge. Let me tell you how many pages it has. Hold on.
It is the final book in the Remnant Chronicles, and we read The Heart of Betrayal a year ago, I think for the July book of the month last year in 2015. So our live show is going to be on September 3rd at 6 p.m. on this channel, The Owlery. That is a Sunday. So Sunday. So Sunday, September 3rd, 6 p.m. on this channel on The Owlery. How many pages is it?
684 pages.
Ugh.
I'm so excited. And
I
guess if you look at the...
I'm going to compare that to Winter.
I mean, it's got big margins, too. Like, that's a decent amount of space right there. Like, it's bigger than my finger. So, I mean...
681?
This one has 684.
4. So that's that.
Oh, Winter's bigger.
Oh yeah, Winter's bigger. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, isn't it like 800 pages now that I remember?
Yep. Have you seen the cover for Wires and Nerve?
For what?
Graphic novel that is coming out.
Oh, Liars and Nerve.
Wires and Nerve.
Wires?
Wires.
Wires.
And Nerve.
Yes, I have seen it. I just couldn't remember the name.
Yes.
I don't like it, the cover.
Mm.
All right.
I don't care. It's a graphic novel. I'm excited. Okay.
I'm worried about the art style because I didn't like the art style on the cover. I mean, I'm going to read it regardless, and I'm probably going to love it because, you know,
story
articles, but oh well.
So I finished it next month.
A new story, too.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it's canon.
I'm so excited.
I think it's canon.
Yeah. Didn't Marissa Mayer help write it?
Yeah, she wrote it. Like, she wrote it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
canon.
Good.
Okay, so that's all I have.
Just doing a regular book, though.
I don't know. Coloring book comes out next month or next year, too.
What book?
The coloring book.
Oh, I don't care as much about the coloring book.
I care.
I'm not a big coloring book fan.
Yeah, but I do coloring videos on my second channel, so.
Yeah, I have a coloring book and I never use it.
I will gladly give it a home if you never want it. Why do you have it if you don't use it?
I thought I was going to, and then I just never did. I bought pencils for it and everything.
I stole my mom's colored pencils. She knows I have them too. I'm just like, I'm gonna use these. Bye. Okay. So.
All right. December? Or we need to think about a book outside of the live show for December.
Yeah. So do we want to close this live show?
All right, I guess so. Well, we'll do final thoughts then. So I gave this 4.5 out of 5. Did I say 4 stars or 4.5?
4.
I think I said 4 stars. Yep. Okay, so I gave this 4 stars out of 5. I really love Melinda Salisbury's writing style, and I like the characters. It takes a little while to get into, especially if you really wanted the point of view to be from Twilio. But there was a lot of info dumping in some aspects, and then there was like time jumpy parts that I didn't like as well. So that's why I knocked 1 point off. But yeah, 4 stars for me.
All right, I gave it 1.25 stars. Excuse me. I honestly just did not enjoy this book. I didn't enjoy the first book. I didn't enjoy this book. I guess it's just not for me, and I probably will not read the third book.
All right. All right, guys. So we will see you next month, first Sunday of the month. What date was it, did you say?
September 3rd.
September 3rd for The Beauty of Darkness. So make sure you read The Kiss of Deception and The Heart of Betrayal so that we can conquer this bad boy. And the series is so good. So
let me double check that it's actually September 3rd. I'm pretty sure it is. Oh. It's September 4th. Excuse me.
You were close. It's okay.
I said September 3rd in my video.
We'll just put it down in the description. My bad.
I'm gonna fix that.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, do you want to check the chat? Have you checked the chat? Make sure there's nothing there that people wanted.
Your last time. It was your mother.
Of course. We are the coolest kids on BookTube. The only people who comment are my mom.
There's 2 people watching right now.
I know. Well, hello, both of you, and thank you for sticking around to the end. It's probably my mom, though.
At least one of them.
And then who, Matthew?
I don't know. Oh, wow. A lot of chat. Okay.
Oh.
What? I'm so confused.
Oh, someone commented on the chat, but
okay.
What?
Lily Campbell.
Okay.
Hi. Maybe
Hello.
we can make them elope. I hope that's comment to Silas and Twilla. I hope.
You mean Silas and Aaron?
No, oh yeah. Silas and Aaron, yes. Exactly.
Yes, okay.
Let's see. This live stream is literally my life. Thank you.
Aww.
You should recreate it. I don't know what we're recreating.
I don't know either.
What are we recreating?
I don't know. What are we recreating?
And Alex Lyra, I don't know. Sorry. Mm-hmm. So excited for next month. Awesome. Join us September 4th, 6 p.m. on the Owlery. I'll fix the description of my video. And then your mother says, can't wait. For what?
Probably next month's live show because she loves watching it.
Awesome. That's all the chat right now.
Okay.
Unless somebody else messages within the next 5 seconds.
I wish that they would tell us what we're recreating, though. I'm kind of...
Lily, what are we recreating?
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I want to know what we're recreating.
now I want to keep this going until we find out what we're recreating, but God only knows how long.
I know. When was that comment?
It doesn't have a time next to it. They don't have
Really?
times. Yeah, they don't have times next to them.
That's lame.
Oh. Ugh, guys.
Well, we'll wait for a couple minutes and see if someone tells us what the heck we're recreating.
I'll close out of it and then pull it back up and see what happens. Okay. In the meantime, let me fix the description of my video. That was an accident. Oh, so I was on a roller coaster yesterday that I didn't want to be on. Let me start with Jesse pulled me onto it. Yeah, it got stuck. Oh my God!
I saw it on Facebook. That's hilarious. I'm sorry.
It was not funny. Jesse thought it was hilarious. I was freaking.
Oh, I would have been dying laughing. I love getting stuck on roller coasters.
How would you like getting stuck on a roller coaster?
Are you upside down?
No, thank God, no. Okay. What happens is this particular ride, it starts off normal, and then at one point it turns you backwards, and then you ride through it backwards, and you go up a hill, and what? I just got a text from my best friend saying I'm watching you. I know
that's creepy.
Not creepy because I know he's at work with Jesse. Aaron got a job at the same place Jesse works.
Oh, cool.
Hold on.
Jesse's her boyfriend.
Hold on. Now I have to figure out, are you just saying that or are you watching the live show?
I'm no, they're outside of your house right now watching you.
It wouldn't surprise me. He's my neighbor. Aaron, not Jesse. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
So it's the second hill where we're already backwards. We're coming up the hill and we stop at the top of the hill. So here's the top of the hill. It's about to go down, and we're facing this way. Mm-hmm. And I'm please tell me this is supposed to happen. Please tell me it's supposed to happen. It wasn't supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we're stuck on it. Only for 5 minutes, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. But they're they came over on the speakers. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Just hang tight. We'll get back there eventually and figure out what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly they come back on a few minutes later. Your ride is about to continue. Please brace for sudden movement. I wasn't expecting that sudden movement to be a jerk forward, or a jerk, well, I guess forward, but it was backward for me.
Yeah.
And then the ride continued on, and for the rest of the ride after that point, your cart just spins.
Hmm. I love roller coasters. That would have been a blast.
God, it's a miracle I didn't throw
I'll
up.
tell you. Okay, so I'll tell my one horror story with getting stuck on a ride at Disney, and then if the person has an answer, then we'll go ahead and end it. But so me and my brother were at Disney, and we were at Epcot, and we were riding this ride called Journey to Imagination with Figment, who is like, I don't. Are you familiar with that ride, Chloe?
No.
Okay, so Figment's like this imaginary dinosaur thing, and this ride is old, okay, let me tell you. And you kind of just ride it, like it's always walk on because no one goes on it, so you kind of just ride it to like sit down and get some air conditioning for 10 minutes, you know, to take a break. And so we're riding this ride, right? And it's like the crappiest animatronics. It's one of the worst rides at Disney, let me tell you. And so we're riding the ride, and the ride like all of a sudden stops. And it stops for like a minute, like literally a minute, and then it keeps going, and then it stops again, and then goes, and then stops again, right? So the third time it stops, we're in the middle of two rooms, and there's like and then the lights come on, and you can see all of the workings of the ride, and it like totally kills the Disney magic, okay? And we're there for like 10 minutes, literally. We're sitting on this ride, and nothing is happening with the lights on. Really weird being in the middle of this big room with animatronics everywhere. Weird. And then, so after about 10 minutes of being stuck on the ride with the lights on, this worker comes up walking, and she goes, "Hey guys, we're gonna get the ride started any minute. Have you seen anybody suspicious running around?"
What the heck?
I know.
Oh.
And me and my brother and this couple in front of us are the only people on this ride, and we're like, no, are we supposed to be looking for somebody suspicious? And we're just like, what is going on? And so she's like, okay, guys, well, just hang tight. We're going to get the ride started soon. And we're just like, is there a murderer inside this ride right now?
God.
Like, I know. It was so freaky. And so we were stuck there for another 10 minutes, and it finally started again. And it was like the worst.
The funny thing about the ride I was on yesterday, though, it was having problems in the morning when we first got there. Like there was like a 20-minute wait, so we got in line for it, and they had shut it down. Like we were still allowed to stay in line and wait, but they shut it down because the speaker in it wasn't working, which is the way they communicate if it gets stuck. And so we waited in that line for 2 hours before they finally told everybody, like, listen, we're going to give you guys fast passes to come back to this ride and to go to another ride. So we'll give you guys fast passes and just head out until it opens up again.
Yeah.
So we took one of our fast passes to another ride, and then later we came back after lunch to this ride. And after it got stuck on us and we got off, we were walking around again, and we came back to it because I wanted to see where we had gotten stuck and like where it was. And I saw it, and the people that were on it then, they got stuck.
Oh yeah, in the same spot?
Yeah, in the same spot. And then it started up again, and then the cart that was in front of them that was also stuck started moving again, and then that cart got stuck at the top again, and it kept getting stuck like all day. And then they would close it down for a little bit and then open it up again. It's like, what?
Yeah, that happens sometimes with Disney too. Did the person comment and say what we needed to recreate?
Find out. What do we need to recreate? I want to know.
I know.
I don't know. Your mom says Daniel says he's watching too. That's it.
Aww. What's the name of the person who said that?
Lily Campbell.
Okay. I don't recognize the name.
Right.
Well, they can always comment. If Lily Campbell, if you're watching, comment and let us know what we're recreating.
I want to know. I need to know now.
Does she have a YouTube channel? Can you stalk her through social media?
I'm on it, but she doesn't like post videos or anything. No, I'm looking through her liked videos though. Maybe she likes any of our videos. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Okay, anyway. So yeah, are we ready to close out?
Yep, we'll stop it here.
Awesome.
All right, I will see all of you soon. I don't know why I was going to say that. Like, I was going to say, bye, Chloe. Okay, hang up. Like,
No.
I was in a video.
So
all right, so.
we will see you guys next month, September 4th,
okay.
Sunday, 6 p.m. on this channel, on the Owlery.
For the Beauty of Darkness. It's going to be awesome. 684 pages of awesome.
Okay.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.